Joyce will face Alexander Ustinov on the undercard of Billy Joe Saunders against, God knows what that guy's called. I forget his name. Where is it? Isufi. There you go. Shefat Isufi. So Alexander Ustinov is coming off 2 back-to-back losses. He lost to, was it Michael Hunter in his last fight, and then he lost to somebody else? Or maybe it was the other way around. Either way, he's coming off 2 back-to-back losses. He must be pushing 40 years old now if he isn't already past 40. Ustinov was never that good to begin with, but his prime, for wherever it was worth, was a very long time ago. So you would expect Joyce to deal with Ustinov with relative ease. You wouldn't expect him to have too many problems. Ustinov is a very big guy. He's a bit taller than Joyce, but he's slow. He's easy to hit. And it should be a fairly straightforward task. Now, if this is a tune-up for a much bigger fight later in the year, let's say in the middle of the summer or the end of the summer, then it's an acceptable tune-up fight because it's a big guy. And if he's going to be fighting, let's say, a Daniel Dubois, and most people are hoping that he will be, then, this is acceptable. This guy's actually even bigger than Dubois. So it's cool if it's just a tune-up fight. But if this is the level of opposition that Frank Warren is going to be putting Joyce in for the foreseeable future, then this is highly disappointing. Joyce wanted to be moved quickly. Joyce is already in his early 30s. He's trying to get a move on. He's not trying to fight jokers and have Frank Warren build the Dubois fight up into a stadium fight? That's what Frank Warren keeps talking about, When people were calling for Dubois versus Gorman, Frank Warren was getting angry in interviews and saying, no, I'm going to build it up into a stadium fight and this, that, and the other. We don't want to hear that. Okay? There is no guarantee that Dubois or Gorman are even going to get to the level where they can be filling out stadiums. There's no guarantee of that. Early in a fighter's career, you want to test them. You want to see what they have. And if you can test them against another heavyweight in your team, then why not do it? I've mentioned this until I was blue in the face before. Anthony Joshua, when he fought Dylan White. Okay, Dylan White wasn't a matchroom fighter at the time, but he was, I don't think he even had a promoter at the time, to be fair. I think he just had a manager. But either way, that fight right there catapulted both of them to stardom. I mean, it wasn't instantaneous for Dylan White, but his profile certainly grew massively off the back of the Joshua fight because he put up such a gallant effort and showed so much heart and bravery, toughness, even though he lost. So it's not the end of the world to be sticking Joyce in with Daniel Dubois. The winner can come back as long as they put up a gallant effort, which I'm sure they will. They can come back, and in fact, their profile might even grow from the fight. If Joyce and Daniel Dubois have an epic, classic British title fight, it's going to do both of them the world of good in terms of their profile, their market value, etc. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. Frank Warren has been talking about his heavyweights, and he keeps on promising announcements. Frank Warren's always saying, we've got a press conference next week, and we're going to make a big announcement. So we'll see whether he does. I certainly hope we'll be seeing Joyce versus Dubois. Some people are saying it's going to be Joyce versus Gorman, which is also an acceptable fight. But I think it's fair to say Gorman hasn't been looking as impressive as Dubois has in his past few fights. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the situation. It's happening. I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.